Hey, what's up, you guys? Bloody Jacob here to give you my thoughts on The Witch. Now, The Witch, released in 2015, the first film of Robert Eggers, who's gone on to do movies like The Northman, The Lighthouse, Nosferatu this past year, 2024. Um, and it's a movie I believe I talked about like years ago on my YouTube. Um, and for me, it was the first, for probably many people, is my on ramp to Anya Taylor Joy. I really adore Anya Taylor Joy. She's one of the standout favorite actresses for me, definitely of the last 10 or so years. Whether it's in something like this, like Furiosa, The Gorge this year, kind of lower key films like Thoroughbreds, even The Queen's Gambit on Netflix. That was a great little series. Um, she's just been one of my favorites for a while now, and The Witch, was kind of her breakthrough. For me, it was my on ramp to her. Alongside seeing a movie like Morgan, which came out the next year in 2016. Um, and she just gives such a really a subtle but really a powerhouse performance still right off the bat. It's pretty incredible that early on. Um, Now she plays the eldest daughter in a Puritan family in 1630s England. So there's a lot of it's very specific religious followings and settlements and stuff like that. At that point, her family is banished. It's her dad, her mother, her three siblings, I believe. So then they're kind of fending for resources and stuff like that. When the youngest brother vanishes when she's looking after him, and so then she kind of starts facing a lot of like suspicion and ridicule, and there's already kind of some deep seated resentment towards her because it doesn't like ham fist you with these things, but you can tell she kind of feels trapped and sort of isolated within this religious teachings that she's been following probably since she was born. So it kind of touches on that a little bit, some of that old world stuff. And Robert Eggers really crafted a terrific film here, because he easily could have just like slapped him in some outfits and put him in the woods and said, "Oh yeah, this is 1630s England." Um, but he actually went as far as to write dialogue and have the actors follow like a certain old world kind of dialect that just makes it feel more authentic on top of all the other little touches and respect he puts into his filmmaking for it, which I thought was really interesting. I know some people have a problem with some of the dialect there, having a hard time understanding it. I don't, for the most part. Here and there, I wonder if I misheard things, but I don't think it's all that hard to follow. And it's again just brings another uh, air of authenticity, to what he made. Now this isn't like it's not a creature feature. There's no, like Green Witch or something walking around just racking up a body count, or something like that. Some people seem divided on this. Overall, it's a very well deservedly well received film. But some people seem to think it was boring for them or drawn out or uneventful. Um, I think what he goes for here, although it might not be something you throw in all the time, um, it leaves an impression. I really think it does. It has like this lingering eeriness and sense of unease and dread slowly building up throughout the movie. And again, it's not just like about something going around killing everybody. It's the family dynamics, the tension there, combining like a possible supernatural element with kind of all the issues I mentioned, with the characters themselves, and kind of meshing that with with kind of a just an unknown. And I think it's really nicely handled. I don't want to spoil too much of it if you somehow still haven't seen it. Um, but it has like a simplicity in how it's shot, but it's perfectly done. Eggers gets all the right things right. By the way, I really need to get a 4K of this, but I have had it on Blu-ray for quite a while. Um, and I just want to say Robert Eggers, I think, is one of, again, the standout and most distinct filmmakers of this generation, really. I really liked all of his films. I still think maybe The Witch is his best film alongside The Northman for me. I really enjoyed Nosferatu as well. Another thing I really love that always stands out to me about this movie is the sound design. There's really not much music used, and when it is, it's used with kind of older instruments, from what I understand too. But mostly it's like ambient noise, ambient sounds, and just like quiet, and it really really works for the movie. Um, it kind of lets the vibe of it all and the story of it and the characters speak for themselves. Again, Anya Taylor Joy is very very good in this movie. Ralph Ineson, I'm sure I mispronounced his name, but he was even just Galactus in Fantastic Four First Steps this year. And Harry Potter and a ton of other movies. The mother was an aunt in Game of Thrones. Um, Any of the kids do a serviceable job for their parts as well. Uh, but yeah, it's a movie I just can't shake, and even if I don't watch it every month, it's something I have like a really deep respect for. I think for me, it's one of the defining movies I think of the last couple decades, especially in horror. Now people are gonna say, "Oh, it's not horror. It didn't scare me. It was just I just slept through it." People act like if something doesn't like personally scare them or like make them jump from a jump scare or something, then oh yeah, it's not horror. So they define a genre based on that. But yeah, I really do love The Witch. It's almost a perfect movie to me. I can't even really think much of a criticism with it. But it has the vibes of it, the atmosphere, the acting. It's very very much a worthy watch and a very iconic kind of closing scene as well. And deservedly, it brought Anya Taylor Joy a lot of love, and she's even more deservedly popular these days, and is definitely one of the best to look out for in any genre. So yeah, and you guys think about The Witch. I'm sure some of you will go contrarian or something like that, but I think it deserves all the hype it gets. What do you think?